Hello and welcome back. I'm Gluskin, and this is the Rebel Entrepreneur, where we are interviewing some really amazing thought leaders and entrepreneurs who are sharing candidly with us parts of their story and giving us a glimpse of what it's really like to be an entrepreneur and telling stories of, breaking the rules like a boss and how that can lead to success. So really excited have today. Our special guest is Olga Yakolev. Hi, Olga.
I got excited. You said Yakovlev.
Who is the Rebel of Love coach.
I am.
So Olga, I love Olga. So I know Olga in real life as well as like online life. And she's in my mastermind group, and I just love her spirit. She's like so full of like sunshine energy, and she's fun to be around. But she helps women, how I would describe it is work on themselves from the inside out. So it really helps them find their passion, find their, embrace self-love. And when they do, it helps them in all aspects of their life, and specifically relationships. She really is a relationship coach. It's one of her specializations, but then it trickles over into everything else. So welcome.
Thank you, Lovey. I want to go like this. I'm going to be super corny today. But thank you. Thank you for having me. And I'm so excited to meet everybody, even though they see me, I don't see them. Thank you.
Yes. So what is the Rebel of Love? What is that all about?
Well, easiest way to put it, I am a love and relationship coach for single women who are getting ready for love. And that could look multiple ways. It could be somebody who's been dating but didn't really quite meet the one for a long relationship, would that be marriage and commitment, or would that be just your life partner? Or it's somebody who's just frustrated. You don't know where to meet him. You don't know how to meet him. And when you meet him, something just never works out. And you kind of like left with, I want to be in a relationship. I am doing what I think I need to be doing. Where's my man or my woman? But mainly I work with women. So where's my man?
Right. And then when you start working together, like what is the thing that you work on first? Or, what is the common denominator like really in the work that you do?
I think there's actually probably two. It's almost the same thing. We always look at alignment, because alignment is two parts. Alignment is how you want to feel about you in life in general and relationship. So you take the focus from out there, how those people make you feel, into what you're actually creating for yourself and the emotions you're actually cultivating on a daily basis. And also, what is there for you to let go of?
Right.
Like the beliefs, the past, and just all our own insecurities. We all have them. And a lot of them come out around stuff that hasn't really worked for us, like would that be love and relationships?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. And I think, everything's all connected anyway. We're one human being. So we have our work life, we have our home life, we have our relationship life, and it's all connected. So I think some of the work that you do can overflow into other aspects of business life and career. I mean, do you find that to be true in working with some of your clients?
Yeah, completely. I've seen it for myself and I've seen it for my clients. When one area start getting off track, either you're having self-doubt or confusion, we can't fully step into and commit. There's other areas of your life that you're holding back as well.
Yeah.
And not really giving yourself the time and attention that you need to kind of move forward, instead of like, I need to move forward and then just keep on getting stuck. Or I need that relationship. And just getting stuck.
Yeah. And it's a lot like entrepreneurship, getting stuck in your business.
Girl, getting stuck in yourself. Yeah.
Right. And then it always can go back to like some of those limiting beliefs, or not having that self-love, not having that self-care.
Right. Or just not knowing how to make ourselves feel good. So give us the nurturance in our life to then take on new things. Because it's very difficult to take on new things when you feel tapped out and empty. You don't have that joy for you, you don't have that curiosity for you. You just have like exhaustion, and you just kind of drag yourself because you have to do it. And it doesn't really work that way. It doesn't work well that way.
Yeah. No, it's true. And I notice that even in like business life, when you say alignment, that's one of my favorite words, because that's, to me, that just is such a great word to describe it. Like, if you're have like a million things to do, and you're like, I have to produce this telesummit, and I have like stuff to do. And you're like, your mind is like this, and then you skip your yoga or your meditation or or whatever your self-care is. And I wouldn't know anything about this, but when you go into your day all frazzled, and then
girl.
But then if you take those minutes in the morning and you just get focused and you do your alignment exercise, whatever it is, and then you're just in flow with it. Right?
Yeah. It's like you connect to you. Like when I'm not connected to me, I forget to feed myself sometimes. And I'm a diabetic. It's not a good idea for a type 1 diabetic who takes insulin shots to forget to feed herself in the morning.
Yes.
When I'm frazzled and disconnected and I am all about over there, meaning I'm either afraid of something, I need to do something, or I'm looking for something outside of myself.
Yeah.
It doesn't really give me the feeling or the connection to myself to actually even feel like I'm connecting to other people. Because I'm not. I'm just kind of like, doing what I'm doing, trying to make things happen.
Yes. I know I've seen a lot of, in the work that you do, you talk a lot about play. How does play fit into loving yourself and relationships, and, what is that all about?
I just want to say, oh, girl. Yes. Play, the notion of play started with just like fun and games and lightheartedness, and I still practice a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because actually, if you look like back into, I don't know, physiology, whatever you want to call it, our internal mechanisms and also spirituality and chakra systems, your femininity and your sexuality and your creativity located in the same spot. It's your second chakra.
Right.
Which is basically, as kids, we use that what we call sexual energy or creative energy to really just draw, play, engage, connect. Like, that is what needed in all the intimate relationships, including your relationship to yourself.
Right.
So when we grow up, everything else becomes a little bit more structured. Do, must, complete, whatever, in a way that it is. But without the creativity and without play and kind of joy of ease, and kind of almost unstructured time with yourself or unstructured time with other people connecting, you don't have intimacy and really great relationships. You might be with somebody, but it doesn't mean you actually want to go have sex and make love with them.
Right.
You don't. You usually sort of like do your work and be like, I have a husband or I have a boyfriend or I'm seeing somebody, it's great.
No, I mean, that's a great, and that's a great point because, if you're not familiar with the chakra system, so it's just, these spinning vortexes of energy.
A lot. It's kind of alignment of your whole body.
Right. And if one of those gets blocked or, like you're saying, you're not playing, so your creativity and everything gets blocked, and then you're, closed up in your life. So play, like not being so serious, having fun, that's going to open up the creative and the sensual parts of you. And that makes sense.
It makes life juicy.
That's kind of like an antidote. And if you run in one of your clients is, having that kind of like,
I think all of us are having that. Like, I think society at large, if you like work for a large corporation or own your own business, you have a lot of responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can actually bring your inner self, inner kid to those responsibilities, you will still accomplish them. But it's going to be more, I keep on saying fun, but it's going to go easier for you. It's going to be more pleasurable for you. Like, play could also be looked at like, purposeful, loving attention to yourself. It's just you time. It's about what gets you out of your head and get something else going.
Yeah.
Whatever that be, your heart, your creativity, or just your curiosity. Or how can I do things differently? So if you're dealing with something in your real life, you can bring that play life and shift things.
Yeah. And a lot of the audience for this particular program is entrepreneurs like ourselves. I think you even hit on it earlier, is that entrepreneurs tend sometimes to put play or self-care sometimes at the bottom of the list, right? Because we have so much else going on. But
there's a lot on the line.
Yeah.
There's a lot on the line for what you want to accomplish, for people who are counting on you, and what you're actually committed to for the world. So play is usually not the first places we look,
right,
to kind of get our productivity up. But if you look, there's so many TED Talks. I wish I had names in my binders, but I don't have a specific name to tell you. But if you need them, just text me or email me on my rebeloflove.com website, and I'll send you links, people. Because this just shows how creativity actually even enhances productivity in a large percentage, I think 94% or something like that, like crazy facts.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, we need to have fun. Like, what's the point of life if it's just work, and not even have fun? Like, if you can have fun at your work, have fun in your relationships, and
have fun somewhere. If you could take in one area, and then once you have fun, kind of almost like sneak in another area of life.
It's true.
It'll make you feel better. I promise. You'll feel better, and you'll connect better, and you convert better, because that's important for entrepreneurs. Sell more stuff, get more services, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, I keep on drinking out of my bowl jar. I'm so not used to it. I usually have a glass, so I keep on thinking like I'm drinking moonshine. It's like water.
I drink my green tea out of those too.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm like, moonshine. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, you are Russian, so.
Yes, it's actually very good vodka. Yeah, not drinking kind. It's a seltzer with vanilla in it.
Oh, interesting. So you have a great story. So it's talking about storytelling, and this summit we have, everyone's sharing different stories, but so you actually came from a corporate background, right? You're in corporate finance, and you explained it to me as a very like masculine energy. And then the Olga I know, I didn't know you then. And you're like, so like feminine, and just, so it's totally different. And I love who you are. By the way. But you explained to me, like you felt like you had to put on this persona in the corporate world. So tell us a little bit about that old Olga and like the transition. Yeah. And it's a great story. So
yeah, thank you. Once you put it all on kind of on the line, I feel it in my heart. I feel like here it's still a little congested sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the old Olga, to start it off, probably I was born in Russia, and I came to US when I was 12. So my formative years were here. And my family were engineers in Russia, and my mom and my dad were also engineers here for many years. So the career path for me was to either go into computer science or go into computer science.
Right.
Because my dad switched engineering to computer science, and that was the boom in the 90s. So since I was the Russian, only child of the family who needed to figure out how to make money for herself and have a stable career, computer science was it.
Yeah.
And I didn't take to it. I also was not interested in engineering. I wanted to go to fashion school. I wanted to go to FIT in the city. And that didn't really go well with the family who were paying for me to go to college.
Right. But you have to have a certain mind for computer engineering or programming. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Everyone's made for that. Like, so and you don't strike me as the type for that, but your family didn't care, right? They're like...
well, I do have that side of me. I can be very logical, very rational, very systematic. That has showed up in my past.
Right. So you saw that, then they were kind of...
Well, I always wanted to be responsible. I was always very smart. I was good with numbers. I could figure out things like on the spot. So career science wouldn't be a too far-fetched idea, but I also love beauty. Mm-hmm. I love aesthetics. I love color. I love texture. I love flow of things. That to me was much more interesting than computer science.
Right.
Even though it could have been a computer design, graphic design, or whatever. I'm not saying whatever it's called now, but whatever it's called now.
You could have been that.
Shifted, there's specific areas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I ended up actually, before I went to corporate finance, I ended up as a project manager for what's called a labeling company. So anything that went on your clothes or anything went on your bedding, like things like care labels, and little stickers says queen or king in your bed. I used to design that. Okay. And I was a creative project manager with global sites and everything else until I was no longer that.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking to leave my corporate career before going to finance. But within 9 months, my life kind of shifted at 26. I was moving what I call 26 forward in corporate ladder. I've had a few promotions within a short period of time, maybe 6 months. Went from being liaison for division to heading division to hire my own team. really exploring possibly going to global operations. And I had at that point 12 global sites. So I was really looking to grow myself and the company in regards to my division. And it was, I think, a $1.3 billion business at that point. So I was like, I always wanted to be the boss. I always wanted to like have a business kit, like briefcase, it was like power suits.
Right.
I thought that I'm going to be the boss babe. And back then, it basically went my way or the highway. Like I've had it that if you can have my work ethic, and at that point I thought my ethic was like phenomenal.
Right.
I get shit done, everything was always buttoned up. I was always like so diligent. If you didn't share what I've shared in my division, then you, pardon my French, would have been screwed.
Right.
You would have had it wouldn't be a conversation back then. It would have been confrontation back then.
Right.
You're not doing your job if you don't straight up F you kind of deal. That's how I was functioning.
Yeah.
Were
there a lot of women working for you, or men, or both, or?
It was interesting. The company was mainly all male. My division mainly all female.
Gotcha.
But the next step of the game, after I basically, went to get dental work and ended up with half my body shutting down, and also half my body shutting down. My kidneys, my lungs, pneumonia, plus 25 years of diabetes had me in a very bad shape.
Yeah.
I was in the hospital. They didn't really know what was happening with me for about 2 weeks. And they didn't really know what the prognosis of infectious diseases was. They knew there was a bacteria traveling through my body. They didn't know where it came from. Dental work was a possibility because I had dental work 3 days before I ended up in the hospital. But it was just like, healthy one day, then throwing out, not able to keep liquids in my body, onto hospital bed, morphine, can't get up, can't sit up, can't go to the bathroom myself, meaning I couldn't raise up.
Yeah, wow.
My body was just like really going through it. And after that, I just kind of, I did go back to work maybe a month after getting out of the hospital. And I'm okay now, so I don't want to leave anybody concerned. All that stuff. I'm still diabetic, but everything else has kind of soothed itself out or healed itself out in that way. But after that, I didn't want to go back to what I was doing.
Yeah.
I think I had so much personal pride and identity really invested in 2 things in my life. One of it was my job, and another thing was my relationship of 3 years to the man that I thought I was going to marry and deeply love, and thought he was my world. And that relationship ended 2 months before the hospital.
Oh, wow. So it was a very pivotal time in your life.
There were, I just got chills in my legs. Yeah, there was 9 months between getting out of a relationship, getting promoted, then thinking that I am where I needed to be, then getting sick. I also at that time bought my first apartment in the city. I think that happened in September, and in March I was in the hospital, and I broke up with my ex-Paul in maybe August of the same year. So August breakup, September apartment.
Wow.
And between September and March, all the promotions, then growing my division. In March, I'm in the hospital.
Wow. Yeah.
And I get out, and I also kind of wasn't really financially, I don't know if it's responsible, probably, but mainly, I don't think I was financially, no, it wasn't even financially. I was really sad and really confused about who I was, growing up.
Yeah.
So even though I had this relationship, I had this job, I kept on self-soothing with shopping and other things that gave me quick fits of feeling like I was someone, that I was worth it, like I was enough. And so by the time I get out of the hospital, I had no relationship. I was let go of my job after 2 months after getting out of the hospital. I was also with new apartment, and I had to declare personal bankruptcy.
Wow.
And I never lived on my own. I always lived with my family.
And you're in your 20s and have
I was 26, and I
major events.
I thought when I had my job and I had my man, I had it all figured out.
Right.
I thought I was completely,
Right.
And then the divine, whatever you call it, just came in and said, well, you're going to sit this one out for a while.
It's so interesting how that happened. Like,
Oh,
you got your whole life figured out, and and then the universe is like, nope. That's
yeah.
not
Yeah,
yeah,
like I am much more like less alpha, more like beta nowadays, but I was very much alpha
right,
back then. So
right,
nobody was gonna tell me what to do, especially not the universe.
right. Right. And see, it's funny because I don't really see that side of you because you're so fun and smiley and
Oh, thank you.
but
She comes out, she's still the boss, but like the play comes out too.
yeah. Well, good. You have more of a balance now because we need both. We need the masculine and the feminine. And, if you're too far on either side, you don't want to be a doormat and you don't want to be like alpha my way or the highway. Kind of, there's like this
I just couldn't do it anymore that way.
Yeah.
Like, like even when I want to be that alpha and go like, go, 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 get, do. I get so tired physically and emotionally that I just know that I am like pretty much running on empty.
Yeah.
Like my feminine, nurtured, connected side is not really getting the attention she wants and she needs. Whatever that be in a child. Oh, I go like this because whatever that be in a child or just me really looking out there without really taking care of myself and expecting somebody else to take care of me.
Yeah.
Right. Because
well,
you get tired.
Awareness now though,
Yeah.
And it's, especially this happened to you so young because a lot of people live their whole lives doing something they didn't really want to do. They did. Parents wanted me to do this job, like your parents were pushing you towards one career, or my friends or my husband or whoever wanted me to do this, and people live their lives doing what they think they should do, what society wants them to do, and there's that inner voice that's like drawing you, like I really want to be doing something else, and you just ignore it. No, I got to make money. No, I got to make people don't be mad at me, and people end up on their deathbeds in their 70s, 80s, 90s. And they talk to their hospice nurses, and the things they always ask, is there anything looking back you would have done differently in your life? And they always say, I wish I wouldn't have worked so much or so hard, spent more time with friends and family. And the other one is, I wish I'd done that thing I always wanted to do my whole life. I wanted to do. And so that's the beauty of your story, is it kind of gave you that gift at such a young age to really evaluate and say, well, what am I doing with my life? Like, what do I really want?
Yeah, because I knew I still wanted to be with my ex for about a year after we broke up. But I pretty much at that point realized that I did not want to go back to the career that I was in.
Right.
Even though I loved it, I was fully engaged in it. I loved the fact that I felt like I was important, and I loved the fact that I was making money.
And all that.
And I had influence on people, how things went, and I took really tremendous pride in it.
Yeah.
But I can't say that I had joy in it.
Joy is important.
Yeah, and I didn't even know back then, like, what having joy in my life would be like, or that I actually wanted it. And I think my first run-in with joy was when, so I think might be about a year, maybe 9 months to a year after I got out of the hospital, and then I applied for a whole bunch of jobs and nobody even called me for interviews. It was like, but it was also recession at that point. So now I see it in that way. Back then I did. I just thought shit, I'm applying for jobs and nobody inviting me for interviews.
Nobody likes me.
I thought nobody wanted me. I thought that I thought I screwed up somehow in my previous employment.
Yeah.
And now I had, price to pay, or how I was in my previous relationship. I thought I was really at fault and at source of everything falling apart in my life. And I thought that for a few years, probably more than 2, probably 3 or 4 until 30.
Yeah.
At that time, I also started getting curious about what else was possible. And my story is a little maybe unusual in the way of, or maybe very usual because there's actually a lot of miracles in the world, of me just connecting to people and creating new friendships. And one of those friendships that I created through a friend in New York City, and then we traveled to Miami for our Basel, and meeting another wonderful woman who became very pivotal in my life, because we both found out that we were diabetics, juvenile diabetics, for 20 plus years. And at that point, she lived in Cayman Islands and was a VP of their president, Premier Bush. That's his name, Bush, Premier Bush. And she also had her own diabetes group back then. Then she got diagnosed with diabetes in early 30s. And there were no really resources on island to do anything about it. So she started reaching out to the University of Miami, Diabetes Research Institute in Miami, to establish connection.
Mm-hmm.
And when we met, I didn't even know about it. Like after we met in Miami, maybe 2 months later, she came down, no, like a month later, she came down to New York for UN with Premier Bush, and I met the whole cabinet. And I think maybe a month after that, she calls me up. She goes, I have news for you. And I'm like, and we never really talked about it. And she goes, like, I'm actually forming a charitable trust for juvenile diabetics in Cayman Islands. And are you interested in being my VP? And I was like, at 27, I didn't know what Cayman Islands was, like, really.
Right.
It was an island that had money off, like, the coast of Miami. And that was, like, even going to Miami on, like, week vacation, it was a big deal back then for me.
Right.
So I said yes, and I have no idea how I said yes. I think I just didn't even know what was entailed in it, so I just said yes. Because it sounded like an adventure.
I can figure it out later, yeah.
I didn't even know, like, I don't think it even, like, was, like, part of my thinking back then.
Because it sounds like it's all just, like seemingly chance meetings, but there was some sort of divine intervention.
Yeah, I just knew that back then my parents were still, paying a lot of my bills because I was freshly out of the hospital.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to be happy. So I said, I want to go to Cayman Islands. They said, okay. I said, okay. So, and then that's when I discovered my passion for not only for people that I worked with, because there was a lot of like single mothers, families, with kids, but for community in a way of like, I've been a diabetic for, how old am I now? 35, 31 years.
Yeah.
And I know and I've noticed in Cayman Islands working with different communities, different families, and I start connecting to myself. When I was too stressed, when I was kind of too overwhelmed with my life and I didn't have emotional connection to people, I wouldn't take care of myself.
Yeah.
Like even knowing it's a chronic disease that I needed like constant attention, constant self-care, I wouldn't. So I really gotten that part of self-love, and part of what I say self-love is actually owning your power, is how to take care of yourself. And that's something for some of us constantly goes out. I'm one of those people. I preach self-care not because it's easy for me.
Yeah.
Like, what if it goes well? I am well taken care of. When there's stuff around me that's like exploding.
Right. When you really need it.
Right. When it's like not too crazy, but it's starting to percolate. When it's too crazy, I take care of myself.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I know I need to.
Yeah.
But like the middle point between things are well and things are like, an inferno, that middle point, I'm like, no, I'm just too occupied to really kind of love myself and have playtime. And I saw that's what it, I saw what it does to people, individuals. I saw what it does to family when you don't take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And I also really, that was my saving grace in some way. I thought after the hospital and my breakup and whatever else happened, I thought the biggest thing I wanted was a relationship. Priority list. Some people have job, relationship, kids. I had relationship number one.
You're looking for all these external boxes to check off.
I was, and I was I kept on waiting I think I was so resigned, but I also wanted a relationship for about 8 years, that I kept on meeting men and, thinking they were the one after a couple of months of dating, and then realizing that they were just casually dating me when I thought it was serious. And
sometimes when you want something so bad that you'll just see that and you don't see all the other stuff. Right.
It must have been part of that, and part of it I just didn't know.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was at a very simplistic mindset, maybe in a way of you meet somebody, you get along, you have a great time together. They say they want a relationship. You say you want a relationship. It continues. You have intimacy, sex, whatever that is. And that just organically grows into this committed thing that leads to marriage and whatever. Right. And I've been down that road more than 5 times, probably 10 times. And I couldn't figure out where either I went wrong or, what happened for a long time. Now I know how to really decipher how I communicate, how they communicate, and how to also really establish not only trust but connection, a certain amount of communication of almost verifying that what you're saying you want is actually what you want.
Right.
And making sure that, because we as human beings, not that they lie,
Right.
Our vision of what we want doesn't always align with somebody else's vision of what they want, even though it says like relationship.
Right.
And commitment.
That means
Not always.
right.
Yeah, there's 50 flavors of, whatever.
Well, what I love about your story is, you had all this stuff happen in your 20s, these like, pretty like the low point of your life, like just all these bad things happening at once, just piling up. And then that set you on this kind of journey, and you did a lot of work on yourself. You joined these programs, and you said you were at Landmark, and you joined other programs, just doing a lot of work on yourself. And through that, you're able to find your real passion, which is helping other people. And, and then you go back to your history of how you were with relationships early in your life. And so now you coach people on relationships to love themselves. So it's just so cool when you like take all like some of the bad things that happen in your life, and then you can turn it into passionately helping other people, and that's like one of my favorite kind of entrepreneur stories is when you can turn that around, and like now you're doing what you love, and you're helping people who may be struggling with some of the stuff you struggled with in the past. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it took a few years, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not one day I'm better.
Yeah, it's like part of it.
To get, yeah.
You gotta dig for the gold.
Still at work to be done always, right?
Yeah, it's like part of it was really connected to my spiritual self. And also that's part of self-love, feeling like I do have love and pleasure and fun in my life and nurturance that first and foremost I have to give to myself in order to be able to connect to others.
Yeah.
And second part, I went through many coaching ideas. I thought I was going to be executive coach, and then I was going to be health coach, because I had to take myself through certain areas of healing myself, and my body was shutting down. I had to figure out what was wrong with it afterwards. And spiritual meaning of things, and how to take care of myself via healthy diet and nutrition and minerals to put in my body, and just the mindset work that I did for me with other people. I didn't do a lot of it by myself.
Yeah.
But like unfolding and peeling back and opening up is what you have now. I can't say it's perfect. Not that it needs to be perfect, because I get that like next layer is going to be messy too. And it's been pretty messy. I just drooled on myself. I know messy.
But that's such a good point too, because like you said, you're going to be the executive coach, and like entrepreneurs, we do that. Sometimes you have to just, everyone wants to get it perfect, and they want to wait till it's perfect. Sometimes you just have to get into action and try. And sometimes you try a program or an idea and it's an epic fail, and you just toss it out and move on. And it just grows and it morphs, and and it turns, and eventually you keep doing the inner work, and eventually and trying things, you're gonna get the thing that's right for you, and just kind of doing it, and it'll evolve, and it'll continue to evolve, and as you evolve, and as I evolve, all our businesses evolve as we do as people too. So
it's crazy. Like in one way, shape, or form, it all comes together.
Yeah.
But if you dig enough, you'll see how it came together. Not that you always need to.
Yeah.
But I'm also very analytical, very pragmatic. I like to like go into my head and figure it all out. So it all comes together. It all comes together in the way it's meant to teach you something. When you're ready to integrate it, you will integrate it into your relationship or your business. If you're not, you'll just experience it multiple ways. So it might not be epic coaching fail, but it might be like epic, shit, like what happened? Like, oh, I see. I connected the dots. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, might have not got what I expected, but cool.
Yes. And most people have fun with it.
If you can, make it a habit of having fun and laughing at your own screw-ups.
Right.
And practicing forgiveness and acceptance of everybody else's, because we all different. We relate different. We learn different. We connect different, but we all want it to be connected. We all want to actually be with other people and do good things for the world. Or 99% of us, because my
always the one.
let's people who don't want to, let's acknowledge them too. There's some people who don't, but a lot of us do.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I could talk to you all day, but I'm just keeping an eye on this time.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate it.
But I wanted to ask, so there's a question I've been asking all of the participants, all the speakers, and it goes along with the thinking there's no like one size fits all how to start a business. So you can't just buy like, oh, here's a business in a box, do steps 1 through 10, and you're going to make $1 million. Like, that doesn't work, even though you'll see people marketing those things. That's not how entrepreneur life works. And we know that. But so one of the questions I've been asking everyone is, you know, what is some business advice that you got that was probably good advice, you know, sounds like good advice, but for whatever reason, just didn't work in your business? Because, you know, it's not always going to work for everybody. So can you think of anything that maybe for you that just wasn't the right advice?
You know, this was a tough one for me. I kept mulling it over. I was like, it probably should be simple. But this one gave me like run for my money.
Oh yeah.
So I think like specifically, you know, in my business or in the last couple of like rounds of coaching, last like 3-4 years of coaching, especially as a speaker, out of the conversation, the way that I related to, because we also sometimes hear different things with what anybody even teaches us. You know, I don't know what was taught to me, but what I heard was never barter.
Right.
Like, you know, like learn how to pay for services and ask for what you're worth and just stick with that. Like, don't put you in a position, even if you start a business, to barter one service for another. Just don't do it. And I kind of stuck with it for a while. But I also, like, in who I am as a person, that's also part of my business. I love getting to know people on an intimate level, like not like, you know, sexually, obviously, but like connecting to people.
Right.
Yeah, like creating almost like alliances.
Yeah.
Creating like my tribe or my peeps. It's not only like a sisterhood, because I think sisterhood is somebody who's always there, but like extended sisterhood of people that I want to do business with. And I can't always, at this stage of the game, afford what the services are. Even the speaking opportunity, which is like $2,000, some of I could, some I can't.
Right.
But like really almost like leaving that behind, that I shouldn't barter, I should just like either I can or figure it out and figure out how to get the money. It's going to sound silly, but figure it out even if it's not about having the money.
Right. That's a good one, because I actually am a fan of the barter system. I don't do it all the time, but sometimes an opportunity arises and you're like someone that you really want to work with and they really want to work with you. And it's like, yeah. Or if you want to recommend someone's services, like you said, like a partnership, it's like, well, let's trade services and then we can promote each other. Like there's different reasons that makes sense. But I know what you're saying. People always say, don't give your stuff away for free. And sometimes you want to help someone out, you know, and to be broken, you got to do what you feel is right at the end of the day. You know, take advice, but then maybe leave it.
Yeah. I think like what we're learning as entrepreneurs, number one, or maybe the most important thing, or not important, it's either number one most important thing, or maybe not number one, but still important. Think out of the box.
Yeah.
Think out of the box.
Yeah.
If you are really wanting something and you don't see the only steps out to get there that's been put in front of you, you either don't work for you, can't take them, or something in the way, figure out another way.
Find another path.
Right on. It might not work, but you know that you actually gave yourself the permission to go for something that's really important to you and commit to something and just move yourself forward. Because I promise you, even if it's the goal of you getting that $2,000 sponsorship and the person says no, but once you know why you committed to it so much, and what you do best to bring to the game to maybe acquire that service, they can rely to you on for that. Or they can ask you feedback, advice. Like it could be like, well, you know, don't pay me $2,000, bring like 50 people to my event, whatever the conversation is.
Yeah.
Or do you have any qualified leads that would really need what I'm doing? You know, can I have a proper introduction?
And get into action, things are going to start happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
you wanted.
And that's freedom.
When you're the entrepreneur, you're the boss. So you get to do that. You don't work for someone else. You can go rogue and you can like, you know, go down this way when you're supposed to be going this way. And you can take a little veer to the right.
You never know what's in the woods. I mean, all of us have to do a shortcut or long cut through the woods.
Come back. Don't get lost out there, or make sure.
I mean, follow take a flashlight, get some supplies, go to the woods, but like know that you can come back.
Right. Yeah, that's true. It's good advice.
Fun, take a marshmallow and be like, just in case there'll be a fire, I can roast some marshmallows. If you're gonna go into the woods, you might as well. Yeah.
Oh gosh. So where can everyone find you, and what is your little freebie that
Okay. Well, you can find me on this fabulous place called www.rebeloflove.com.
Yes.
So it tells you a little bit about my services and some clients that I worked with, and I don't have a full about me page, because about me, I'm about people and women finding love and getting out of their own way and healing themselves and nurturing themselves and loving themselves to have that be, attracting the one, getting married, and having happily ever after. That's the bigger picture of it. And there's also a freebie that I'm creating, and by the time you all log in, it's be done. It's a love quiz. And the love quiz that I've done, actually, a very simple quiz. It's 3 detailed questions that you actually will have to look at answer instead of like clicking the multiple choice. I'm actually asking you to feel into them and see what opens up. And when you complete it, you send it back to me and you get a free session with me.
Oh, yay.
So yeah, even, it works for people who getting ready for a relationship, want a relationship, or if you're in the first couple of years of your relationship and you just feel like you just need a little bit of a love boost in there. I'd love to hear from you. Come to my website, take the quiz, click the Let's Talk button. I promise I'm really out there to support you, and it's truly my pleasure to be here with Dawn and just talking to all of you. Thank you so much.
Well, yes, thank you so much for spreading the love and playing with us.
I feel so smiley.
You laugh right now. I laugh so much. I remember the photo shoot in DC. She had me laughing.
You were the best. Yes. We were at a street corner and with a phenomenal photographer, and we wanted to bring our juice and love forward. So I had a great time, Dawn. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga.
Yes.
Rebeloflove.com, everybody. Thank you. Yeah. Bye.